Welcome to Story Time. Have you ever thought about how big space is and where we fit into it? Space, or the cosmos, includes everything that's out there, from tiny particles to enormous galaxies. It's incredibly big, so big that it's hard for us to really understand. Just to help you imagine, there's a measure called a light year, which is about 6 trillion miles. Now think about billions of these lined up one after another. That's how big space is. It's so big that it can make us feel very small, but this very size is what makes space so interesting. It's a place where the things we experience every day and the laws of science come together in surprising ways. So when we say cosmos, we're talking about a huge space that is much bigger than everything we know. Let's start our story about 13 billion years back with a huge event known as the Big Bang. Think of a tiny dot that holds everything, all matter, energy, and space. In this place, the rules of physics that we're familiar with stop working. This is where our universe was born. In an intense moment, the tiny dot burst open. The Big Bang wasn't like a normal explosion because there was no outside to explode into. Instead, it was a rapid growth of space and time. This sudden rush of energy and matter started everything. Right after the Big Bang, the universe was a hot, thick soup of tiny particles and energy. As it grew, it cooled down and allowed basic particles like protons, neutrons, and electrons to form. These particles gradually joined together to create atoms, mostly hydrogen and helium, the main ingredients of stars. Over billions of years, gravity pulled these atoms together to form stars and galaxies. Inside these stars, heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron were created. When these stars ran out of fuel and went boom, they spread these elements across the universe. These elements then joined together to form new stars and planets, including our own solar system. Everything we see around us, from the iron in our blood to the carbon in our cells, came from these star factories. Every atom in your body, device you're using to watch this, and the air you're breathing was once part of a star. We are, in fact, made of stardust. The Big Bang started a cosmic cycle of creation and destruction, a dance of matter and energy that's still going on. From one tiny dot, it created a universe that keeps growing, filled with countless galaxies, stars, and planets. And that's how the universe, as we know it, came to be. Do you ever wonder where we stand in this huge universe? Let's start with our home, Earth. Imagine it as a bright blue ball hanging in space, spinning round and round. This ball, our Earth, is home to more than 7 billion people, countless animals and different types of nature. But when you think about the whole universe, Earth is just like a tiny dot. As we move further, we enter our solar system, which is like a small community in a big city of stars. Our sun may be an average star, but it's the center of our solar system, holding 8 planets, including Earth and many asteroids and dwarf planets. Yet even our sun is just one of around 200 billion stars in our galaxy only. Our galaxy, called the Milky Way, is a huge city filled with stars, planets, and maybe even other life, but there are many more galaxies besides ours. In fact, there are about 2 trillion galaxies, each one filled with millions, billions, or even trillions of stars. Can you imagine that? Trillions of galaxies, each with so many stars. Some of them might even have their own planets. It's difficult to fully understand how massive the universe is, and yet here we are, on our small planet, circling a normal star in a galaxy that's just one out of trillions. It makes you feel small, doesn't it, to think about where we are in the universe? To understand that we are part of something so big and complicated, it's hard to grasp. The big picture of the universe, we are just tiny dots on a small planet in a small solar system. But remember this, it's on this small dot that we've learned to ask questions, to explore, to understand. It's here that we've started to solve the universe's mysteries. And that shows how important we are, no matter how small we might seem. What's next for our huge and seemingly endless? As we travel through space, we come across different ideas about what could happen in the future. One of these ideas is called the Big Crunch. This theory suggests that one day the universe could stop getting bigger and start getting smaller until everything crushed together. On the other side, there's the theory of heat death. This means that the universe could keep getting bigger and bigger until it's so big and cold that nothing could live or move. But isn't it amazing that we can even think about these huge ideas? Even though we are so small compared to the universe, we are smart enough to learn about these big ideas. This shows how much we can achieve and how curious we are. The universe is huge, but that doesn't mean we are unimportant. We are a part of it, trying to understand it better. We are a part of this amazing mystery, and our story is connected to the universe's future. Even if we seem tiny compared to the universe, we are not unimportant. We are a part of the universe trying to figure out itself. So how big is space and how small are we? Trying to understand the size of space is like trying to hold smoke in your hands. It's massive, bigger than anything we can imagine. It's with other galaxies like our own, each with millions or even billions of stars. And around those stars, there are planets, asteroids, and other objects all moving together. We're like a tiny speck of dust on a speck of a planet floating in the huge space. Even though we may feel big in the grand size of space, we're really very small. But even though we're small, we have the amazing ability to understand this big universe. We use telescopes to look at far-off galaxies. We use math to understand the rules that space follows. We might be small, but in a way we're also very big, because through us, the universe gets to understand itself.